Hey guys, welcome to another episode of It's All About the Music. This is going to be probably one of the greatest episodes of all time. We are ranking the studio albums of the Beatles. Arguably they're arguably the greatest band of all time. Now, I have bad taste, so on my list of every musician in the world, the Beatles sit at number 65 on my list. So, everybody's got different taste, and the Beatles are my 65th favorite band. I like about 51 songs out of 181 of their studio tracks. That's about 28.17%. So that's how I feel about the Beatles. But I love them, absolutely love them. And, sitting at number 65 is not a bad position. I love basically every rock band that ever existed and just about every musician that's ever existed. I love it all. So the Beatles sitting at number 65 out of 230, not too bad, not too shabby. So we're going to get into ranking the studio albums. I got my handy dandy device here, and we are going to get into it. My least favorite album. We're going to start with my least favorite. We're going to work our way up to the best. Okay? And I'm going to make a lot of people upset with this. I know people can argue about Beatles record rankings for Millennium, and they are. But we're going to kick it off with Rubber Soul. Okay? I don't like this album. And I know this is one that people just talk about and talk about and talk about, and I just personally don't like it. It's my least favorite Beatles record. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I just do not like the style of music that they are doing here. It's just not my thing. Okay? So that's, everybody's got an opinion, but that's mine. Rubber Soul is their worst one. Okay, coming up next, we got, what's it gonna be? The Beatles For Sale. Okay, I don't like this album art. I don't like this album. There's maybe a couple of songs on here that I dig, but Beatles For Sale, not really doing it for me either. The next one I know, like Rubber Soul, is going to get people going. Okay, I gotta find out where it is. I wish I had more physical media by the Beatles, but I don't. So this one is going to make people upset. That's right, people. That's right. Do not like Revolver. It's got some okay songs. It's got the rock and the pop and psychedelic rock. It's 35 minutes and 1 second long. It was released on Parlophone Records, produced by George Martin. Right? I don't know. I don't see why everybody loves to rant and rave about Revolver. But we're moving on. We're just going to move right along until we get to the stuff that I'm really excited to talk about. Right? There's some Beatles records that have just changed my life for sure, and we're going to get to those. I wish I had physical media. Right now I'm looking for that album. Here it is, guys. This is another one not really crazy about. Yellow Submarine. It's got some good songs. I'm not digging the instrumentals. It is another George Martin production. Not really digging it. Okay, we are moving on to, this is where things start to get good as far as my opinion on the Beatles. A Hard Day's Night. Really love this album. Had a lot of great tunes on it. It was in mono. Loved the album art. It was on Parlophone Records, George Martin again, and it sort of featured a pop rock sound. The Beatles virtually created modern rock and roll. So, Hard Day's Night, really doing it for me. Really enjoy a lot of the songs on Hard Day's Night. And we're just going to keep on going to, let's see, the next one is Early, Please Please Me. Some would say this is the Beatles' debut album, and I really had fun listening to it. Now it's it's kind of sugary sweet. It's kind of like the early Who records where the band was producing some maybe more artistic material, but the record companies were kind of putting out these pop records by rock bands. But Please Please Me was very good, very good. We are moving on to my next one. This is another great. This is the 5th studio album by the Beatles. This is Help. And there's a lot of songs on Help. It kind of features a folk rock, pop rock sound. It's coming in just over half an hour. And I really had fun listening to Help. A lot of great Ticket to Ride and the title track are just amazing on the Beatles' Help. Okay, we're moving on to some, this is where we're getting better and better as time goes on, right? Well, for the most part, we're kind of jumping around a little bit. But I had trouble finding it because the actual title is really just called The Beatles. Okay, the White Album. Fantastic. I don't think there's ever been a bad White Album, right? There's been some bad Black albums for sure. In terms of releases called the Black Album, Metallica's was pretty great. Weezer is who I'm talking about. Weezer's Black Album. Ugh. Oh, it's almost bad as Pacific Daydream. But back to the Beatles, right? We're not talking about Weezer. We're talking about the Beatles with their amazing White Album. Then we're going a little bit back in time on the list with the Beatles. Okay. Then we're going to jump up to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Kind of a mouthful. Really enjoying it. Really loving it. Well, I'm loving 2 other albums better though. Let's get to those. Scrolling down. Who will it be? So, what do you think it's going to be, guys? Absolutely love this album. And you know what's happening here. Let It Be is going to be my second favorite Beatles album. A lot of great tunes on here, right? What do we got on Let It Be? The title track, holy gosh. Get Back, The Long and Winding Road, For You Blue. The Two of Us, Dig a Pony is one of my favorite Beatles songs. Across the Universe, definitely in my top 10. Dig It, Let It Be, Maggie May, The Long and Winding Road, and Get Back. Some of the greatest songs ever written, right? Just absolutely fantastic. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. We skipped over. Well, we've already ranked it, but this is one of my physical copies of With the Beatles. Absolutely love that one. It came in. It's my 4th favorite Beatles record, so I just forgot to throw it in there. We will not forget this last one, though. We are at the #1 greatest Beatles record of all time. Are you guys ready for the reveal? Buddy, are you ready for the reveal? Ghost, are you ready for the reveal? Cameraman, are you ready for the reveal of the greatest album of all time? Okay, the greatest Beatles record of all time, according to Chris Norwood, is this one. The Beatles, Abbey Road, in something. I don't know what that says. But yeah, this, I love the artwork. I love the back artwork. I love the inside artwork. And again, in my opinion, the greatest Beatles record ever. Gonna get you guys an album cover there as we talk about it. I'm going to kind of be peeking around with my snowman nose. But yeah, Come Together, Something, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, Oh Darling. I even like Octopus Garden, and I know a lot of people don't like that one. Oh Darling is probably top 5 in my top 5 Beatles songs. I Want You, She's So Heavy. Another favorite, Here Comes the Sun, appears again on here. Didn't it appear on another one of their studio albums? I think it did. You Never Give Me Your Money. This is from 1969, by the way, on EMI Records. Digitally remastered in 1987. That's the compact disc, on Apple Records that I have. Sun King, Mean Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, The End, Her Majesty. This is just pure rock and roll perfection right here. And we're going to take a look. You got a nice compact disc there, and I will take it out. You got that. You got that. You got shaving cream on your face. Now the booklet, there's not much of a booklet here. You got that, you got that, then you got this. But there's a lot of good information on here. The Beatles, Abbey Road, Come Together was written by Lennon-McCartney. Something was a George Harrison song. Track 3, Silver Hammer, was Lennon-McCartney. Octopus's Garden was a Starkey song. Then Lennon-McCartney, Harrison, Lennon-McCartney, 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 Lennon-McCartney. So kind of a typical writing procedure on this album, and it really does it well. There's really nothing better in popular music than that Lennon-McCartney songwriting style. And I have this really blasphemous idea that Paul McCartney and Ringo should reform the Beatles and perform as the Beatles. Now I know that they still work together occasionally, but come on, man. Beatles. Imagine 2020 having a Beatles world tour. It would be, Okay, so this is, what else do we have here? Apple Records, compact disc warning on the inside. But yeah, so that's my opinion. I absolutely kind of wanted to rank with the Beatles a little higher. Those are the two that I have physical copies of. So those were two that really stood out to me in my opinion. But, Let It Be, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if I got a physical copy of Let It Be somewhere. But, so just in a quick review, just going back over my list, Abbey Road is my #1 favorite. Let It Be is a close second, almost tied. And Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is up there too, and with the Beatles. So Abbey Road, Let It Be, Pepper's Club with the Beatles. Those are my 4 picks. And I know that people are going to criticize me for not ranking the White Album higher and not ranking Revolver and Rubber Soul higher. Particularly my Rubber Soul being the worst Beatles record. I just don't understand. I don't understand Rubber Soul, and I don't understand Revolver. As a rock musician, as a rock and roll historian, I need to revisit them for sure. I've listened to both of them a couple of times, and I just don't. I don't hear it. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I know I have family members that just go on and on and on about Revolver. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's not my style. It's not my type of rock and roll. And a lot of the Beatles catalog, like I said, I only like about almost 30% of their songs as far as studio tracks. But with the Beatles, my kind of music. Sgt. Pepper's, my kind of music. Let It Be and Abbey Road, my kind of music done to perfection, to the best possible culmination of all things pop rock. Abbey Road, you're just killing it. If you disagree with me, if Abbey Road is your favorite, if Rubber Soul's your favorite, let me know in the comments after you like and subscribe. So that's been ranking the Beatles studio albums. So you guys have a good rest of the time.